Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. All right, let's dive right into it. Please type in OpenAI chat.openai.g.com. It's Friday. And if you don't already have a login, you can sign up. All you need is an email, create a password that will confirm your email. Then you put in your phone number, they'll confirm your phone number, and you're done. So I have a video on that you can watch. So you log in with your email and your password. And once you log in, it will take you to this preview, which is good to read. That's why I don't even know if you can disable it. It just comes. It's a good read, and if you've read it before, just go hit next. And then once you're done, I will encourage everyone to give your feedbacks. This is still pretty new, less than a year. So anyway, we are going to talk about how to use ChatGPT to create a resume, to look for a job, and to keep your job. Basically, I'll give you a few scenarios to do these things. So think of anything. If you want to create a resume, what do you want to be? What do you want to have on the resume? Do you have 3 years experience? Do you have 2 years experience of what? Just give them a summary. Whatever. Remember, this is intuitive and this is AI, and be very straight to the point and give them a few things that you want to see on your resume and see what it populates. And once, if you don't like what you see, you can always continue to ask AI ChatGPT to modify. So right now we are going to type in, I have 3 years experience in third party management. You can say, I have no experience. How do I create a resume for a risk analyst? I have no experience. How do I create a resume for a chef, a teacher, whatever it is? You just type it in. You know, how do I create a portfolio for a movie star or whatever you guys do? A content creator, a marketer, a software engineer, a nurse, a healthcare admin. Just be very precise. I'm not sure if the experience is gonna go in the order that you type, so let's see how it goes. If it doesn't, you can, when you're copying and pasting it into a Word document, you can rearrange it. So, 1 year, 2 years cybersecurity analyst, 1 year experience in retail store manager, and then you do write resume, or maybe we should do generate resume. I don't know. I don't even think it matters. So, but let's do generate resume. And then, guys, you can also put in, so if you send it like this, it's just going to create your experiences and work around this. But you can also put in if you have a degree, if you have any certifications, if you have any volunteer work, even if you have references. You can type 2 references, type their name and their number, and then it's, or whatever reference. I've never done a reference in my email, on my resume. But if you want to put in a resume, you can, a reference, you can add anything you want on your resume. What AI is going to do is create sentences with it and use what is common in this world, in the system up until 2021. Remember, it's using data from, or data, depending on where you're coming from, is using data from whenever till up until 2021. And so I'm not sure when they are going to update it, whether they're going to do it every month or every year. But so it's using intelligence from up until 2021. So what is generally accepted and acceptable and what is correct, grammatically correct, is what's going to create. So now it's going to go. I didn't want to forward this just in case you're reading to see have an idea. I didn't want to forward it and then you would have to pause and read, but this is a good enough speed for you to read along, even if it's not your field, just to have an idea of what their format is. And it's pretty good. I mean, I was impressed. I already have a resume that I am very happy with, but as I was creating this video, I updated 2 or 3 of my sentences. It's the same thing, it's the same experience. I just updated them sentences. You know, if I'm using things like them sentences, obviously I need ChatGPT, right, to give me grammatically correct sentences. I just drank water and I hope it didn't come in the video. I mean, the sound. But look at this. It's giving me skills. And I know it's doing only 3. I don't know why it's doing only 3. It doesn't look like it's complete. So what I am going, notice on the top left, your top left, that it just generated a title for this chat. Anytime you have a question or an update to the resume that you want to add, you can always come on and just say maybe add 1 year experience. If you get a job, you can just go add 1 year experience of da 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 da. Yeah. It didn't put the date, so when you copy and paste it over, that's easy to fill in, right? But if you want to be thorough, you can actually type in the dates and it will do it for you. But I didn't want to do all that. Maybe I should have for tutorial basis, but eh. So now it's using 3. I see that it's using like 3 bullet points for everything. So I'm gonna ask it to. I guess you have to be specific. I'm gonna ask it to maybe make it 5, and ideally you can say add 5 bullets to cybersecurity analyst, add 2 more bullets to retail. But I'm just gonna make it simple and say add or make it 5. 2 more, okay. Make it two more. Add 2 more lines to the experiences, or you can say add 2 more lines to cybersecurity, add 3 more lines to risk management, and just leave retail as is, because retail doesn't really add to your current job search, right? We're going to look for something in cyber IT. But what it would do is that you had manager, you had a manager position at the retail, so that's good for your resume, correct? So you can add more managerial position lines to the retail. You can ask it to do whatever, guys. This is great. Let this help you. You know how much you will pay for resume building? It's insane. I mean, and you can even use this as a job. I just gave someone a job to do. You go on LinkedIn, you go on whatever, you create a website to do resumes for people. They send you as much information as they want to send. You just put it in ChatGPT, you copy and paste. Guys, always read, reread, and make it your own. Because remember, this is intuition. You see, it's going by the generally accepted rules, if you would. So you go in, add a few things so that it's not too cookie cutter. I don't know how cookie cutter these things are, but again, ChatGPT is less than a year old, so very soon it's going to be like every resume is the same, but I feel like depending on how you phrase your sentence, it's just going to change it a little bit. So I don't see it becoming too vague for everyone, like one size fits all. And I always do thank you or great or excellent, because ChatGPT is still building. OpenAI is still working on it, you see. And when you do things like this, then they know, okay, this is accepted. They are judging and measuring the success by how satisfied we are. So I make it a point to say thank you or I really shouldn't say thank you, but I'm very invested in this. I love it. So far, I love it. I've only been here a week, so who knows? Maybe I'll hate it later, but so far, I love it. And so it added two more lines to everything, and that's good. And so, just so you don't make it cookie cutter, I will say it again. Just And so once you finish your resume, let's say you have an interview for um, cybersecurity analyst or whatever. You can type in third party risk analyst. What are some of the IT jobs? I can't think of. I went blank. And then look, it was I was even talking about it telling me, walking me through some interview questions. But if I type in prepare me, this is what is going to come up. And I still like this. I want it. I didn't know I needed this until I typed in the wrong question. So again, if as it's going, you think this is not the right thing for you, you click stop generating, and then you type in you try another sentence. You keep trying sentences until you see what you want, because like everyone and how they perceive anything. Because I said prepare me for a cybersecurity job. I think that's what I typed. But what I really meant is walk me through some interviews. So instead of that, I could have really written walk me through cybersecurity interviewing. But I feel like it will probably say, well, read this and this kind of thing. So I'm going to be as specific as possible and see. But let's wait for this to finish generating, because I do like what I'm seeing. Imagine you want to write a post on create a content on this. Here you go. And I am actually going to create a content just because it says it. So I'm going to literally read how to prepare for an interview for cybersecurity and talk a little more and dive deep on this. You can even tell it to elaborate, number 2, elaborate, number 4, or give more details to number 5. Whatever it is, remember it is once you start a chat, it builds and kind of follows through the chat. So if you see, look on my right pane, you will see recipes. If I go back to recipes to continue, I don't have to type in give me recipe for chicken. I can just type in chicken, and because it already knows that we're talking about recipes, it will just populate. I just clapped. It will just populate the resume. The recipe. So it's good to keep it. And once you feel like you no longer need a chat string, you can just delete it. But I don't see how you will stop needing something you used to. Anyway, to each his own. So now I'm going to tell it to answer 7, which I really wanted to know. I've been through so many jobs. I've been through so many interviews. So I wish I knew all these. You know how long it took me to figure out what questions to follow up. And also, always remember, it's giving you these wonderful questions. You cannot just go and ask these questions, because during the interviewing, the interviewer may have answered these things. So you can't just copy and paste and memorize them and go and ask the questions. You will look stupid if they have already talked about it. So please write them down, but also pay attention. People say AI is here to replace human beings. It can never. See the amount of work I am. It's nothing without human beings. So relax, at least not in this lifetime, right? So now I'm going to rephrase and say maybe 10 questions or maybe I shouldn't put 10 questions, but I don't want it to just bring 3 so I should probably say 20. I don't have time. So let's just say 10 questions for interview prep. Notice I didn't say for interview for cybersecurity, because the conversation is already going on. So he or she knows that we are talking. I use he a lot. It just rolls out of my tongue. He knows that we're talking about cybersecurity. So it's just going to give us cybersecurity questions. If we didn't if this was the first question I was asking, I would probably say, give me 10 questions for interview prepping, for cybersecurity interview prep, or like I will mention it in. But this one, like I said, is picking from, and even with this, you can tell it answer number one, answer number two, answer number three, whichever one. You can tell it to answer all of it. Whichever one you're not familiar with, you can tell it to answer. Even if you're familiar with, it doesn't hurt to see what others are looking for, what the interviewers are looking for, right? Remember, this is looking for what interviewers is answering based on what other interviewers and interviewees have answered. The most popular way of it up until 2021. I cannot stress that enough. So like if it's going, this may answer, let's say there's something with next 853 version 5, which is what we're in now. It's going to give you answers based on 800 version 5. Maybe 2022 version 6 came, 2022 or 2023 version 6 came up. It's going to be up to you to let the interviewer know you're up to date, and you know that we are in. If you go and read it verbatim, yeah, well. So please read and make sure you absolutely understand what is going on. Wait a minute. Notice that it didn't pick from my interviewing questions. It went to my first bullet point, which is I forgot what question. Let's see what question. Which is this one. And it's now because I told it to prep me. No, it didn't choose from here because question 7 here says, can you describe a time when yada, yada, yada. But question 7 for the other one, let me go back to that. So I guess maybe you can type in, you can copy and paste the question, or you can actually copy and paste some of the questions. I wanted sample of, I wanted the sample questions, the sample interview questions. I didn't want prep me for an interview. So I'm going to go back. And what's this one? Now I'm, okay. So this is the question it gave me, which I still need. So I'm going to use it anyway. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted answer 7, as in answer the interview questions you gave me, the sample interview questions, answer number 7, not what opportunities. I still need it. So I'm going to keep it anyway and use it for my next video, possibly. But I wanted to ask what in interview questions is what I'm looking for. So 2 ways. I can copy and paste question 7, which is, can you describe a time, yada, 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 and paste it. Or I can say answer number 7 of 10 of the 10 samples. I'm just mentioning something in it. So 2 ways. Answer sample question 7. Guys, remember, I'm learning this with you. So I'm no expert. We're figuring this thing out, you and I. So please subscribe and click the notification button if you want to learn some more stuff with me. So you can either put number 7 of the sample questions, or you can copy and paste the entire question and copy the entire question verbatim and paste it in the chat section. It's still generating. I could hit stop generating, but I still feel like if you're in IT, this may be good for you. This may be a quick read as you watch this video. If you're not in IT, you can definitely skip. So good. So good. Everything is typing. It's actually helping me, to be honest. You can use this to generate PowerPoints. Let's say your boss wants you to work on any PowerPoints, risk, steps to risk, anything. Just type it in here, create a PowerPoint, or ask it to create PowerPoint bullets for you. You copy and paste it into your PowerPoint. I'm going to show you how to do that in my next couple of videos. I have so many things to teach you guys that I don't know. It's probably going to, I have to probably write it somewhere. I'm getting the idea as I go. Maybe I should write it. Hold on. Anyway, I will write it somewhere. So good. Now we're going to tell it to generate a cover letter. I have never used a cover letter. I have applied to so many jobs. When I was an accountant, when I was applying to Kmart, when I became an IT person, all the jobs, and believe me, I've applied to so many jobs. Maybe a cover letter would have made the whole process quicker if I had one. But if you're into cover letters, here you go. You can tell it to generate a cover letter, or you can be specific. Maybe generate a cover letter for a front-end developer. But if you don't say anything, it's going to create the cover letter based on the conversation we've had before about risk analyst, about retail, and about what's the other one? Cybersecurity analyst. But you can be very specific. Entry level PMP, entry level or experience, 5-year experience, project manager. You can 10 years experience chef with high end restaurants, whatever, and it will generate the cover letter for you. Again, business ideas for you out there, because not everybody is going to use ChatGPT. Not everybody, even as much as successful as ChatGPT is, not everybody knows it. So this can be a whole job for you, writing documents for companies. I looked into it. I just don't have the time. So you can create a LinkedIn account, a website for writing enterprise level documents for companies. You can even write contracts here, but if you write a contract, remember, you have to still give it to a legal person to review it and pay for them. But the good thing is you cut costs if you're just sending it to a legal person to review it, as to the legal person writing it and reviewing it. You can, once you get the job, you can actually come here and say, hey, how do you conduct a third-party risk analysis? It doesn't hurt to even come here, even if you have, you already know how to do this. Just look at what's happening now. You are going to, once you type in, because let's say your boss, I'm sure most third-party risk managers know how to conduct third-party risk analysis, but let's say you didn't know. You got a new job, and even though you have experience, this is new to you. You just type it in here, you watch it, and then I'm sure once you will know how to do these things. Even if you don't know the steps, once it generates it, you can say, show me how to do 1, show me how to do 2, and it will walk you through it. I'm not going to go through all of it. The video is already 20 minutes in, but I just want you to know you can go in and say, how do you do monitor and review? How do you do develop, walk me through the steps? You can come in here and say, how do you send a mass email to company, to employees, to let them know there's going to be an audit, an internal audit, and it will type. Do you know how much I struggle with company-wide emails? I read, I reread, I send it to my boss. He reads and changes almost everything. He's a very smart guy, and he's into these things, so this is great. And then this is saved. So after I have the job, I just want to still continue this. Or I can start a new chat and label it. You can always change the name and label it. Let's say I get a job as a security engineer. I will label it security engineer. And then I can even start a page called YouTube Shenanigans. And then because with this one, it's a video I'm creating, and I don't know what to type for the description. Heck, I don't want to spend the time thinking and coming up with a description. So I'm going to let it talk about this for me. Remember, rewrite the questions until you get what you want. So I said a video about our conversation today. That's not what I meant, because what I wrote was good. I'm going to pick some of it from it. But what I want is a description for a video talking about building resumes with ChatGPT and doing business level, what do you call it? Business level documentation and things like that. Professional writing, something like that. So even though I like the answer I gave, that's not what I want. So let's try YouTube description for how to use YouTube for. At this point, I'm just typing in anything until I get what I want. So, I cannot spell today. It's Friday, guys. Happy Friday, by the way. How to prepare for interviews and write resumes. So let's see if this is what I want. Of course, again, I'm going to read it and edit it, but this saves so much time editing than it does. Remember, I don't think everyone who puts this in, because everyone and how they construct their sentences, right? So I don't think everyone who creates a video on ChatGPT for resumes will have the same. And if they do, I'm still going to copy and paste this and then edit it to sound like what I want it to be. So guys, seriously, let this help you with everything you do. And I hope you will improve. Don't ChatGPT is not the only AI. OpenAI is not the only AI. Get into it. There are so many AIs. I'm going to create a video on most of them and how to use them in various part of your life to make life easy. It's here to make life easier and more proficient and more efficient. But it's not here to replace that. Again, not in this lifetime at least. So use it for the good. Use it as a great tool to improve your skills and get ahead of the game and not to panic. So let me know if you have anything that you would like to see in ChatGPT. ChatGPT is not the only thing I'm going to talk about on my channel. There are so many other things that I'm going to do on my channel to help you improve your life as an IT person. And that's really as I'm going to talk about a lot of tools that will help your life professionally, whether you're a chef or a hairdresser, whether you're an IT person or a nurse, it doesn't matter. So stay here and let's build our lives and improve upon our lives together. Again, please subscribe if you haven't already done that. It helps a lot and it will help me. Let's be active on the chat section. It will help me know what to upload. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time and just upload anything just for viewing sake. I really want to bring value to your life. I want to bring value to anybody's life. And so thanks so much, and I will see you in my next video. And remember, ChatGPT, if you are signing up for the first time, even if you're already a member, it will still probably you will still probably have the same problem. But ChatGPT was launched November 2022, which is 2022, November, December, January, February, is less than 4 months old. And within 5 days, they had like 1 million users. And now I don't know how many they have. So I don't think they expected that. So when you start logging in, sometimes it will tell you OpenAI has reached its capacity. And if you refresh or close the browser and come back in, you will probably, because they are working on it. So it's a quick resolve. So if you encounter that, just type in again, okay? All right. Thank you so much for joining.